Hello, sports fans. Great to be back with you. Let's start in the NHL playoffs as we are heading into round two. Eastern Conference, it'll be Washington against Pittsburgh in what should be a fabulous series. The winner of this series should have a legitimate chance to win the Stanley Cup. Washington came back and beat Toronto 4-2. They win the last 3 games. It was not easy. Toronto looks like a team for the future. They gave Washington all they could handle. Basically, every game went into overtime, but Washington did find a way to get through. Pittsburgh dispatched Columbus 4-1, so Washington-Pittsburgh, like I said, should be a fabulous series. We'll see who gets the nod in net for Pittsburgh. Remember, Murray missed round 1. He should be ready for round 2. Wouldn't surprise me if Pittsburgh started with Fleury, and if he stumbles, they go back to Murray. Remember, Letang out for the whole playoffs for Pittsburgh. Also in the Eastern Conference, Ottawa will be hosting the New York Rangers starting on Thursday. Ottawa beat Boston 4-2, and the Rangers beat Montreal 4-2. As far as the Western Conference, starting tomorrow in St. Louis, it'll be the St. Louis Blues hosting the Nashville Predators. Nashville looked absolutely awesome in round 1. They beat the Blackhawks 4-0. That's not easy to do. And St. Louis looked just as good. They beat Minnesota 4-1. So St. Louis, Nashville should be some really good hockey. Also in the Western Conference, starting tomorrow out in Anaheim, it'll be Anaheim hosting Edmonton. Anaheim swept away Calgary 4-0, and Edmonton beat San Jose 4-2. Edmonton, much like Toronto, a team to watch out for the future. They have a lot of young players, Edmonton, that are really, really good. So that is your hockey. Should be some good stuff in the NHL playoffs. Over to the NBA we go. Western Conference, no surprise. Golden State swept away Portland. Golden State awaits the winner of the Clippers and Utah. That series is 2-2. Back to LA we go. What else is new at LA? Blake Griffin out for the rest of the playoffs. Blake Griffin seems to be one of those guys that's going to be hurt his whole career. He's got a lot of talent. He's very exciting, but he is hurt all the time. So the Clippers in Utah, 2-2. Back to LA we go. Who knows about that series now without Griffin? Houston leads Oklahoma City 3-1. It's been the Harden versus Westbrook show. Both players playing at an extremely high level, but Houston in control right now. And the winner of that series will take on the winner of San Antonio-Memphis. That series is tied 2-2. Memphis has won the last 2 at home. They will go back to San Antonio for Game 5. I do expect San Antonio to get through. That is your Western Conference. As far as the Eastern Conference, Boston and Chicago, 2-2. Back to Boston we go. Home team hasn't won a game yet. Chicago won 2 in Boston. Boston came right back, won 2 in Chicago. Game 5 in Boston. I expect Boston to win that game. Washington at home will be hosting Atlanta in Game 5. That series is also 2-2. Again, I expect Washington to get through. Toronto has a 3-2 lead against Milwaukee. Milwaukee will try and even it up at home and force a Game 7. And Cleveland already in the clubhouse. They swept away Indiana 4-0. Like I always tell you, the NHL, there can be upsets. The NBA, the best teams usually win. And you see that here with Golden State and Cleveland. They both won 4-0. Don't expect a lot of huge upsets in the NBA. All right, that's your NBA. Real quick on the baseball. As far as the American League East, Baltimore doing a great job, 13-5. Yankees playing well, 11-7. Boston 11-8. You expect them to be there. Tampa Bay mediocre. Toronto, what's with them? 5-14. They're digging themselves a huge hole. As far as the Central, Detroit 10-8. Cleveland 10-8. You know Cleveland's going to be right there. Chicago 9-9. Minnesota has dipped back to 9-10. Kansas City 7-12. Wasn't too long ago that the Royals won the World Series a couple years ago. As far as the West, Houston a solid team, 13-6. Oakland doing a decent job for Oakland, 10-9. Texas a little disappointing at 9-11. Angels have fallen on hard times, 9-12. Seattle stumbled out of the gate. They can't seem to get going there, 8-12. As far as the National League, real quick, as far as the East, Washington 13-6 playing tremendous ball. Swept away the Mets over the weekend. They did lose last night, but Washington doing a nice job. Miami 10-8. Miami, I'll tell you, they're going to be pesky all year. They give you a fight every game. You'd wonder what Miami would be if they had Fernandez on this team. Miami is a pesky, pesky team. They're going to be in every game this year. Don Mattingly does a good job with that team. Philadelphia up to 9-9 after the tough start. Mets, very disappointing, 8-11, but you expect them to be there at the end. Atlanta 5-12. Don't expect much from them. As far as the Central, Cubs 11-8. We know how good they are. Cincinnati dipping down there, 10-10. Milwaukee 10-11. St. Louis 9-10, but they have won 3 straight. And Pittsburgh 8-11. As far as the West, Colorado, they could be the surprise of all of baseball right now. 14-6. They look really good. Arizona doing a nice job, 13-8. Dodgers 9-11, very disappointing. Long way to go, but Dodgers so far very disappointing. San Diego 8-13, and San Francisco 7-13. Bumgarner gets hurt on that dirt bike accident. Who knows when he's going to come back? Matt Cain leaves with an injury last night, so San Francisco, even though they won last night 2-1 against the Dodgers, San Francisco's got all sorts of issues. Still ridiculous amounts of time to go in baseball. Soccer, real quick on the soccer, we are in the Champions League semifinals. May 2nd, it will be Real Madrid against Atletico. That'll be a 2-leg series. And on May 3rd, it'll be Monaco against Juventus, also a 2-leg series. The winners will play in Wales in June to decide the whole Champions League. As far as the Premier League, we're coming down the home stretch. About 6 games to go in the Premier League. Right now, Chelsea has a 4-point lead over Tottenham. Chelsea does have a favorable schedule. You expect them to hang on to win. They were up not too long ago by 10 points. Tottenham's been on fire. Chelsea, I do expect to get through. Their schedule is very favorable. And as far as the Spanish League, Madrid and Barcelona are dead even right now. They are tied on points, but Madrid does have a game in hand, so they still have the advantage. Barcelona did beat Madrid over the weekend 3-2 in an absolutely fabulous game. Messi gets the game winner in stoppage time. That kept Barcelona alive. Advantage still Madrid because they have that game in hand, but that win by Barcelona at least gave them a shot. That was tremendous soccer over the weekend in the Clásico, as they call it. All right, so there you go. You guys are all caught up. You guys are all set. You have your NHL playoffs. You have your NBA playoffs. You always have your baseball. You got some good soccer coming up. You got all sorts of good stuff coming up in the sports world. You guys stay happy, healthy, and safe. Thanks as always for the support. Pick a lot of winners. Make a lot of money. I'll talk to you guys very, very soon. Take care.